Alright, so I got my old school Reliant here that's been hanging around for a while. Started putting the decals on it. Pretty much this is the paint. I don't know if you can really tell on here, but it's done on a flat white. Like I had bought stacks of the Floquil Reefer White. I use it as a primer primarily because it has such a fine grain to it, and it's super easy to sand. And it dries really fast. And well, not maybe really fast, but it dries fairly fast and really smooth for a flat primer. But anyway, I did that. Then I used the Tamiya, whatever it is, pearl white. Just do like a dusting over it, and then painted in my dark gray details. This is a decal here from the round 2 decal sheet, which I'm probably going to go and replace because somehow something snagged on it and it took a little chip out. I don't think I'm going to be able to match the paint on that. But otherwise, that chip right there, you can see it. If that chip right there hadn't occurred, then I would have just left it as a decal. But yeah, so I'm using the round 2 decals on the original issue, and this decals aren't really working. Like this stripe should be behind this, I believe. But like when it came out, it was like way out here. Like I don't know, it didn't quite look right compared to some of the photos I was looking at. So I don't know. Now I'll probably go through and poke in the windows and paint those black, more than likely. Everything on here is a decal except for the silver dome, which I painted. The decal's a little, not really fragile, but once you start working with it after you get some of the setting solution on there, it's kind of giving me a little bit of trouble. A couple of spots it almost looks like it's paint there because it's like coming up, so I have to go in there with some more setting solution and a toothpick and maybe get this stuff straightened out a little bit. But not too bad. Yeah, I got a couple little bumps and stuff like that. Tried a couple of things like these panels look kind of dark. I tried doing like some panel lines with a little Gundam panel pin kind of thing. Just checking stuff out. Most of my seams came out really good. I did get some red on here, I'm not sure how, but I sanded off all the detail. Super slick all the way around, no seam or anything. This isn't too bad. There's a couple of spots where I could have paid a little more attention to, but it's not bad. Not bad. For being out of the hobby for like ever. Then on the back, on the bottom here, got that stuff all painted off. These are painted like a silvery blue color. I'm not sure where I got the reference for that, if I just did it to do it. But I left them, like I dusted them with the white again and the pearlescent. Just left them, put the decals over it, and get a little more flavor. There's some nicks and bumps where it's been set down on stuff, and it kind of got the paint kind of scuffed. So using the Lucasfilm spirit of u.s.s, I'm just going to leave them just to add flavor to it. Like I read somewhere, like these just leave smudges and fingerprints on the models, just to, you know, because they were beat up and used. So just kind of added something to them that they normally wouldn't put on there, and I'm kind of going the same way. I did just put these parts on. I forgot about them. The two little fillet things that go in there. So I got the weird little T-shaped gaps. I'll probably put a little bit of white putty in there, sand it, and then once I attach my shuttle bay area, I'll have to sand and paint that stuff up. And so when I get to that point, I'll fix those in there. Experimented with some decals here. These are the decals from the round 2 set, like I said. They worked out pretty good. There's 4 decals. When I first put them on, I was kind of like, these are going to suck. But actually, after working with them and putting a ton of... and I'm not using the micro set stuff. I'm using that Salva set by Hob something, or Hobco, or whatever it is. Old school stuff. It's like a big 2-ounce jar. I'll find it here in just a second. But this is like, 4 decals, and this is off the old AMT decal sheet, which that thing is brown. Wherever that's at. And I'll stop the video here in a second. I'll grab those and show them to you, some of my materials and stuff. But yeah, come along really well. My shuttle bay area is just about done. I just need to get some reinforcement for the actual clear shuttle bay parts and get those reinforced so they're going to stay. The numbers are in there. The lights are in there. Not real lights, but like the little clear parts that represent the lights. Because I'm not lighting this kit because this hull was already assembled and some of the other parts were too. And there was no taking it apart to even attempt to try to light it. And this thing was going to just rip in half if I even attempted, because it was so well glued and everything. So I guess I could have cut it, made my own seam, like in the one of the could have cut it myself, I guess. But I wasn't going to go through the trouble. I just wanted to get back into the flow of the painting, the detailing, get my eye and my hand going on, which my hand painting sucks. So I'm going to be using a ton of tape until I get my hand skills back. But yeah, so far so good. I got a piece of tape on there just covering up that. I don't want so much paint getting in that detail and stuff whenever I painted it. So just a couple of touch-ups here and there, and the main part of my Reliant is done. And if you look right here, this is nice and clean and clear. But when I show you the decal sheet, you'd be like, wow, I'm surprised those survived. But there you go. Let me go take a quick break on this. Oh, I even put the decals back here on the thing. I don't have any windows, so if somebody has an extra brass set or has any idea of where I can get windows for my old officer lounge or whatever it is back here, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll have to try to print something out, which I haven't really had much luck before. But hey, try new things. So hey, thanks for watching, and I'll try to tack on a little bit about the decal sheet and some of the other stuff I've been using. So, awesome. Alright, just want to show off my decals here. This is the same sheet I pulled that Reliant decal off of from the other bit just a minute ago. As you can tell, these things are brown. I mean, here's like a nice white painted plastic there, and it is just like brown, dark beige. And I figured out, I touched the corner with a wet finger just to see if it would come off, because I had another kit, something like that, like an old kit, and I was like, let me try these decals out. And it wasn't this bad. They were just a little yellow, and it worked great. So I'm like, well, maybe these will work. And I was really surprised, because these things were not stored with the kit. I have a binder full of decal sheets from kits that I started and opened, and I keep those inside and protected. Just with age and whatever, they went up and turned brown on me. But yeah, so far they look really, not really good. They look okay. I'm not sure what that decal was right there. Interesting. Because no, I did the Reliant, and I don't know what the other one was. But anyway, I have to look and see if there's a decal sitting around on my bench somewhere. But yeah, so I use those, and I use this Salva set that I got from Walthers, I guess it is, like the train guys. I used to do like a lot of train stuff, and it's made by Hobsco or something like that. This stuff worked really well with the round 2 decal sheet, and I used a little bit of microset and microsol initially just to see, if the set was enough, or the saw wedge is a little more aggressive. But then the Salva set was working beautiful, so I used that for all the Aztec decals I started on the bottom, and the blue little crystal area decal. Got some sub-assemblies here. You can see my blue-gray that I've painted in here. It's a little bit different from the gray on the other part of the ship. Just got to go through and finish sanding off the seam. If I can get an area here where it'll focus. That seam right there where that second part is added in. You can kind of see it's kind of rough looking. I need to finish sanding that, get that good, and then I'll tape off what I need to tape off and paint that little area. And then when I do that, I'll fix the red on the other part. And then here's my little sensor dome part right here. It has like the nice clear part, which I really, really wish they'd had one of these for the bridge, but they didn't have one in there. I guess I could have stuck some clear in there. But you can kind of see like the little nodules that stick up. I might do something to highlight those and either paint the inside of this black or something like that, and then paint those like a yellowish color. Like I'm not really sure, but may just leave them like that. So we'll see. Just kind of progressing along here. But yeah, that's what I'm working with. And if anybody has any extra, just the registry stuff for the Reliant, like if they had a sheet of Reliant decals and didn't use the Reliant stuff because they made a what's the other ship, Sutherland or whatever it is, or something like that, I would love to have the decals, especially the big registry numbers. Any of the registry number stuff, like the name or the number, would be great. But I'm going to start with the small ones, and this will be like the last one I put on my ship. So, hey, thanks for watching the whole video and everything. I really appreciate it. Any tips would be great. It's been a while since I've done this. Everything's going along pretty well. My hand painting really sucks, but my other skills are still about where they were. My decaling, it's been a while since I've done it, and if you've used like the old micro scale, micro mark decals, then you try these round 2 decals, they're really different. Like the round 2 decals are really like this crazy plastic sheeting that just kind of dissolves as it's in the water and the setting solution. It really gets kind of weird. Whereas the micro mark, so if you put them on there and they were pretty much there, then once you put that Salva set, they just almost immediately suck down, whereas the round 2 takes a little work. But yeah, I'm learning, and it's been fun. Like chatting with you guys online and everything. So, yep. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and any tips would be helpful. Love some registration numbers. I'm looking for decals for the Voyager too, but I think I'm just going to buy that $20 set off of eBay and just strip the whole thing down, because I don't think she got any clear coat. I think she just got decals applied, and now I'm not really sure about her hull color, if it's correct. It's kind of like a... Well, anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. Loving my build. Hope you guys are appreciating it too. Any pointers, like I said, for 10 times would be appreciated. And if anybody has any registry markings or any ideas other than spending $30 for a full set of Reliant decals, let me know. Thanks.